Hello, friends. I'm so happy to be here with you. I have been on vacation for a few weeks, so we haven't had an opportunity to do these lives. And honestly, they bring me so much joy. So I'm glad that I am back with you. Today, we're going to talk about the power of questions and moving from like rumination to inspired action. And what's so great about this topic is really the idea that we're going to talk about like how do we ask questions of ourselves to help us move towards the life that we want. So I am Brandi of Brandi Michelle, and I'm a happiness coach. It is the best job ever. I must stipulate because one day my amazing son heard me saying this, and he thought that I meant it was better than being his mom, but being his mom isn't a job, and being his mom is truly the best thing that I do with my time in the world. And so these last few weeks, I got to spend some additional time with him over the summer, and that warms my soul. So I for the work that I do, I partner with people who've had a lot of success but still feel like something's missing, and it's because they have inadvertently or unknowingly had this belief that their success, their achievements would lead to happiness. And that's just never the case. It's like being on a hamster wheel. You're constantly looking for the next success and you're always moving the bar. And I help individuals like that realize that happiness has to be a goal unto itself. And when you make it a goal and you use those same skills that have allowed you to be so successful in other aspects of your life, you really can flourish and really increase your consciousness, have a more defined sense of purpose, feel more fulfilled. It really is the work of this lifetime. And I am grateful to be able to partner with people around that work. Okay, so let's jump in. First and foremost, whether you're like watching this live or watching a replay later, please drop a comment. Let me know that you were here. If you have any questions, let me know what those questions may be. I'm always like meeting people or getting like DMs saying that people are listening to these, and that makes me so happy. But you can feel free to also just leave that in the comment. If you have any questions around along the way or anything that isn't clear, just let me know. I love talking to people. So here we go. I think like we can just start from this perspective that not too long ago, I found myself kind of lost in thought, right? Like I was on this path where I was overanalyzing every decision, every choice, every thought. And like many of you, I felt stuck, right? Like in a cycle of overthinking without actually finding a way out. But I'm here to tell you that similar to how I found my way, there is this beautiful tool that can guide us out of this maze. And it's using the power of questioning, right? And this power of being curious about kind of why are we here? What has happened? What has occurred? And when we do that, we move our lives forward and we move from kind of this miserable maybe, as one of my coaches says, to this place of really inspired action and where our life feels much more intentional, right? Because when we pose questions in the right way, they're going to be like mirrors, right? So they won't just reflect where we are, but they'll also give this beautiful light to where we want to go. And so especially for many of us who are kind of like in this part of our life that involves like many transitions where there's kind of challenges about like, is this where I'm meant to be? Is this where I want to be? Um, and we're evolving kind of our roles, whether it be at work, whether it be as a partner, whether it be as a parent. And so all of these things are like coming into our experience, and we all have this burning desire for fulfillment, right? And so these questions can really help get you to where you're trying to go, right? And so let's think about like just crafting the right questions, right? So it's not just about asking any question, it's about asking the right question. So let's I'll share a few that I oftentimes use. Like, what do I truly desire in this phase of my life? Right. And when we ask these questions, the most important part, okay, and I'm going to say it twice for the people in the back. The most important part when we ask these questions is really pausing for an answer. So, like, what do I truly desire in this phase of life? And you cannot respond that you don't know. You know, everyone knows. You just have to reconnect with yourself. You have to sit with yourself until you allow that answer to come forward, right? So oftentimes we allow ourselves to say we don't know, and then we just like move on. But ask yourself the question, pause, sit with it, and get an answer. So, first and foremost, what do I truly desire in this phase of my life? How does my current situation, the current life that I have, my current daily experiences, interactions, my job, my spouse, my health, my relationships with others, my relationships with myself, how does that current situation align with my personal values and goals? Right. And then the third one that I will offer to you guys today, and it's so important, is what small change can I make today to move closer to my desired outcome? So if every single day we are doing something ever so slight to shift, change, up level our lives, we are going to move closer, right? So when a plane takes off, if the pilot were to shift the trajectory just like 1 degree over the course of an hour, that plane would move an entire mile off path, right? And so that's on average. Obviously, there's lots of data that goes into it. No need to put that in the comments for all my physics experts out there. Joking, joking, joking. But you get the picture, right? So just moving 1 degree, making a slight shift in your life is going to change your trajectory. It's going to change your path. And so you want to ask yourself, what small change can I make today to move closer to your desired outcome? Right. And these questions are going to serve really as catalysts. They're going to help propel you forward, and they're going to shine a light that allows you to move more intentionally towards where you're looking to go. Now, I urge you, like, not to be like asking these questions as you're driving for pickup or as you're like headed to work in the morning, to really like make time for yourself to sit in a quiet space and let them resonate with you, right? I know. I oftentimes recommend journaling. It's because it can be transformative, and I'm not overstating that. So, like, getting your thoughts out of your head and onto a piece of paper is truly the first step in manifestation, right? So, for those of you who always reach out to me about manifestation, that is the first step, getting it out of your head and onto paper, speaking it out loud, right? And so these two things are ways that you can start this domino effect, this ripple effect, as you may, of shifting your life, right? So when you see these thoughts flowing on paper, it oftentimes can help you untangle the very thing that you've been struggling with, these feelings that feel so complex to you, right? And so you want to really have this time for yourself. You know, for there are a handful of us who also do better sometimes bouncing ideas off of others, right? So you can have this conversation with others, not to dictate your path, right? Because as I always say, only you have the answer on how to change your life, right? But if you have a trusted friend, a sibling, or a mentor, sometimes these conversations can help provide clarity or insights that you can then use to make the necessary change, right? So we want to first ask ourselves the questions, then we then want to give ourselves real space to get clarity on the answers, right? And then once we've asked the questions, we have clarity on the answer. Um, then we realize that we have to take that information that we have such clarity about and move to action, right? So we only change our lives by taking inspired action, right? There's no amount of thinking There's no amount of thoughts, there's no amount of good intentions that will help your life change. In fact, in 4th grade, Sister Bernadette shared with all of us in a big poster board on the wall that the road to hell was paved with good intentions. And it felt so direct at the time, but it is pretty clear, right? Like you can't change anything with intention. You must take inspired action. So once you have this beautiful clarity, then you need to draft what your steps will be, right? And so we're going to take a small step today, and then what will be the next step after that, after that, after that. And what you will find is you'll start to receive information from infinite intelligence, from the universe, from God, from your highest self, from source, from the field, whatever you want to call that which is bigger than ourselves, you will start to align with it in such a way that you're going to be getting this beautiful information. So don't worry about having the entire picture set before you. Don't worry about if you can see the whole staircase. As Martin Luther King said, you just need to take the first step, right? And sometimes, taking that first step will lead to more questions and other questions. And that's actually beautiful. It is part of the dance, it is part of our process of growth, right? And once you start to take this inspired uh, action, make sure that you continue every day to make that commitment to yourself, right? This commitment to move from this kind of passive contemplation, this rumination, this having intentions to this place of like really beautiful committed action, right? So just know that this art of self questioning really is your path to self discovery, clarity, and real like actionable change. So I challenge each of you today to ask yourself one powerful question, commit, pledge to seek its answer. Know, once you ask yourself the question today, that by the end of the day, you will have an answer, right? And our journey towards increasing our happiness set point, feeling more fulfilled, is always an ongoing one, right? But the questions that we pose to ourselves can really be the guiding stars we've been searching for, right? So, as part of the action step today, I'm going to leave you with this question just in case you can't come up with one. I'm here to help, right? What's the one thing you've been avoiding asking yourself, and how might your life shift if you faced it head on today? All right. Thank you guys so much. I am going to leave my website in the notes here. I would love for you guys to sign up to receive my weekly or bi-weekly, excuse me, every other week, the 1st and 15th, journal entries. These journal entries have beautiful topics that I share with you guys, actionable steps, exercises that you can implement to increase your overall happiness set point. Never forget that joy is your birthright. I also have an amazing course that is it launches on the first Monday of every month. So the next one will start on September 4th, which is Labor Day. It's like a great kickoff for the fall. And we have 20 lessons that are so beautiful, daily exercises. You're part of this community where you can ask questions, interact with me. And then, of course, there are community calls every Wednesday. And so that is called the Joy Blueprint. I would absolutely love to meet you there. We go really deep and wide in a short amount of time, really helping you kind of harness the power of changing your lives. And that's what we're all here for. We are here to align with the highest version of ourselves. And it's my honor to partner with you guys all on this journey. So I always end with this like beautiful reminder that like as we watch the news or we hear about what's going on in the world, we oftentimes can see so clearly that which we believe should be changed. And I offer to you that actually changing the world is an inside job. The more we can up level our own frequency, the more we can send this beautiful energy in the world, then we can have a ripple effect. And just imagine 8 billion happy people. What a world it would be. So let's strive for that. Sending each and every single one of you so much love. Thank you for listening in today. Let me know what questions are coming up for you and what steps you're taking from those questions. And I'll look forward to hearing back from you. On Friday of this week, I'm going to do a call about infinite possibilities, and it's going to be like super interesting. So hopefully you guys can join me for that one as well. Love you. Bye.